there were a couple things I wanted to talk about. First off, um, I want to talk about Republicans and Democrats. Now, in my history class, my teacher was displaying Democrats as people who wanted big government and more government control, and Republicans as small government and less government control, which I disagree with. I think, yes, if you want to talk about economically, Democrats generally want a bigger government and more control, and conservatives generally want less government control. But if you want to talk about socially or morally, the Democrats want less government. They don't want government interfering with their moral decisions and how they want to live their lives, while Republicans want the government to be involved in their own morality and how they live their lives as much as possible. So I think that's there. I think there's a hypocrisy going on with the Republicans and Democrats. You know, the Republicans, their banner is, "We don't want big government controlling our lives," yet they're the ones that are opposing gay marriage and opposing abortion when that's government controlling their lives and how they want to live. Republicans just want the government out of their lives, or the government out of their lives so long as it doesn't affect them. If it affects them, they want government out of their lives. If it doesn't affect them, why, government can be controlling anyone else's life. The Republicans just want the government out of their own life, but the government can control anyone else's life. So that's why, I mean, I know there are gay conservatives, and I know there are pro-abortion conservatives, but generally speaking, the conservatives are the ones that don't care about the struggles of gay people because they're not one of them, so why care? They're the ones who don't care about the struggles of people who have been raped or people who need an abortion, so they don't care. And then Democrats, I think, are not nearly as hypocritical because their slogan isn't like, "We want bigger government," so they're not hypocritical in that way. They just have different standards for whether they want government involved in their own morality and whether they want government involved in economy. Which brings me to what else I wanted to talk about. If I was to vote in any sort of election, I probably would vote Democrat if I wasn't to vote Libertarian. I would vote Libertarian if I were to vote. But if I couldn't vote Libertarian, what other party would I choose? I would go Democrat, just because I care more about social issues like abortion and gay marriage than I care about economical issues, truthfully. And that's because I kind of have to weigh the issues. I care more about these social issues like gay marriage and abortion than I care about these economical issues. Because the conservatives stand for completely opposing any sort of gay marriage or any sort of allowing abortion. Now, yes, there are civil unions for gay people that, you know, some conservatives support, and some conservatives support abortion. But generally speaking, no, it's, you know, anti that. Democrats aren't necessarily anti-free market, they just want more regulations brought in. So the Democrats aren't going to ruin the economy or destroy our economy. I think the economy would work much better if we used more free market tactics and didn't control the free market, didn't control the marketplace as much like the Democrats want. But I don't necessarily think the Democrats are going to do as bad at economy as Republicans would do at moral issues. So yeah, I would vote Democrat if I couldn't vote Libertarian. Of course, I can't vote yet. I'm just barely going to miss the next election. I'll be 17 and a half, like the next election, so not going to be able to vote then. Oh well. And then the final issue I want to talk about in this video was what's a libertarian? Because I've heard people define it completely wrong, and one of the ways I've heard it defined is an extremely, like, it's an extreme Republican, which it's not at all. A libertarian is really a mix of Republican and Democratic ideals. Libertarians stand for freedom, basically. Freedom economically, like the Republicans, and freedom socially and morally, like the Democrats. So we're a combination of both parties put together for freedom, not extremely conservative. We're not extremely conservative. Now, issues of economy, probably, yeah, we're more conservative than the Republicans would be, but we're much more democratic, much more like the Democrats, on issues of morality. So those were the few things I want to talk about on politics, and I'll be making more political videos soon because I'm getting tired of the religious video thing. So this has been the Amazing Libertarian. See you guys later.